Hi there, and welcome to another video from ES and for Business and Life. Today we'll be talking about Unit 5, which talks about stress. Don't forget that you're covering Market Leader for you, pre-intermediate student. We'll be checking the vocabulary of the unit, not all of it, but the most important. Today we'll talk about, more specifically, about stress at the workplace, some factors that can lead to stress in the workplace. Yes, and then of course that is vocabulary for life. One reminder that whenever we work on vocabulary videos, it is important to repeat if it's possible. If there is nobody you are annoying, please repeat out loud in front of the monitor. Nothing, it will not kill you and will give you very good practice. And rewatch if it's possible or necessary. Let's continue. Alright, well, I'm going to give you a definition and an example. I'm going to go as quickly as possible on this. So, lifestyle, pretty much self-explanatory, but well, anyways, that is the way people decide this should be a how to organize their life. Yes, the decisions that you make on how you live your life. We have one here, a balanced. There's a little mistake there. Thank God I noticed. So balanced. Yes, that's correct. A balanced lifestyle will reduce stress and will give you more time to do other activities you like besides work. Yes, so we're talking here about having a good lifestyle, balanced one between work and you. Yes. So then again, if you have any questions or you want or require further explanation, you can ask your teacher in class. There's another one here. Managing your time, sleeping 8 hours a day, and sleeping 8 hours a day can really improve your lifestyle. There should be an and there. Let me change and repeat that again. Managing your time and sleeping 8 hours a day can really improve your lifestyle. Yeah, well, that's pretty obvious, but well, it's just an example. The next one is to be a workaholic. To be a workaholic. This word comes from the combination of work and alcoholic. As you know, an alcoholic person is a person that has an addiction to alcohol. But in this case, we're talking about a person that has an addiction to work. Yes, somebody who cannot stop working and has no time for anything else. Examples: he works over 10 hours a day and takes work home. He really is a workaholic. So we're going to the conclusion that he has no time for himself, no time for his family. He probably is a workaholic. Another example: workaholics normally arrive late to family activities, or they simply don't go. So when you're a workaholic, that can lead to having problems with your family. You don't show up to reunions. You don't take them out to a restaurant or to do some leisure activities. That makes you a workaholic, especially if you put work in front of everything else. Workload. Your workload is the amount of work a person is expected to do during their shift. Yes, this has to do with, depending on your position, like sending reports, handling email, making phone calls, teaching a class, making a video, etc. Examples: my workload increased a lot recently since Alex left for vacations. So there's one person that is on vacation, and that translates to the other people or the other person to have more work. That increased his workload. Another example: her workload is let's read that. her workload was reduced now that she's pregnant. So there's a situation that makes her work a little less than the rest because, well, sometimes being pregnant can be a delicate thing, and, well, this person is working a little bit less because she's going to have a baby. Deadline, a very important word to remember. A deadline is a certain date or time, specific date or time, you have in order to complete a project or request. Yes, you have a time limit. I would say time limit. That would be the best way to put it, limit. Examples. The original deadline was Monday, but they changed it. Sorry, that sounded funny. But they changed it to Friday just recently. Now we have to double our efforts. So let's say that your original deadline was Monday, but guess what? They changed it and they want it Friday. So this time that we had, we no longer do. Now we have to do it quickly. We have to do things faster in order to be ready, to have it ready for Friday. Now, flexi-time. Flexi-time is a system where workers decide when to start and when to finish their workday. That sounds beautiful to me. For example, I decided to work for this company because it was the only one that offered flexi-time. Now I can spend more time at home with the family. So I have a chance for decision. Now that I can decide when to start and when to finish work, I have more time for my family. Another word, work-life balance. Work-life balance. That is the ability to give a good amount of time to work and personal activities too, such as family, hobbies, just you, for example. And we have an example here. It is very convenient to choose a company that gives you access to a good work-life balance. Yes, so that means that maybe no more than 8 hours. 8 hours plus, don't take a job there. You will have problems with your family unless you are single or you plan to dedicate yourself to your work 100 or 120% maybe, but having a good and healthy work balance will probably most likely make you a happy person. Now, quality of life. This is very easy, self-explanatory as well. Quality of life. And that is how personally satisfied you feel with the way you live and work. Yes, we're talking about quality. Is it good or is it bad? Is it so-so, etc.? Example, she takes quality of life very seriously. So she decided to reduce her working hours and give some extra time for herself. Yes, I don't think I need to explain this any further. Let's move on to the next item. Now, the next item is working environment. Working environment. Yep. This refers to people, things, and most likely the atmosphere you live with at work. Everything that surrounds you, everything that is around you. It's like, is it people? Is it the facilities? Friendliness of your coworkers, or how bossy your boss is. All that's called working environment, working atmosphere. A good example of this is a good working environment is necessary for you to do your job and be happy with it. Yeah, that's again pretty self-explanatory. Alright, thanks a lot. Just before we go into the thanking you guys for listening to my ugly voice, don't forget that we're covering Unit 5, Stress. Market Leader book for you intermediate student. Pre-intermediate, almost halfway through before you are an intermediate one. checked vocabulary on what factors that lead to stress at work. We checked lifestyle, a workaholic, to be a workaholic, workload, the deadline, flexi time, work-life balance, quality of life, and working environment. And now, well, yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in our next video. Goodbye.